Hi, second grade students. Today is our last story for Knowledge 5. We are on Lesson 8 called Peace and Pirates. Before I begin to read aloud, I'm going to introduce our vocabulary words. Our first vocabulary word for today's lesson is the word ancestors. Repeat after me. Ancestors. Ancestors are people in someone's family from the past. Our next vocabulary word is the word dejected. Say dejected. Dejected means very sad. Our last vocabulary word is the word jubilant. Say jubilant. Jubilant means very happy. The War of 1812 actually lasted almost 3 years, started Grandfather Lafitte. Both sides won battles here and there. The Americans felt dejected when the British burned Washington, D.C., but they felt jubilant when they successfully defended Baltimore and New Orleans. Who won the War of 1812? Asked J.P. That's a tough question to answer, replied Grandfather Lafitte. There wasn't an outright winner. However, in many ways, by preventing the British from capturing several of our key ports, we felt that we had won. Did the British think they had won? Adele chimed in. I don't know about that. I am sure they felt that there was no clear winner. There's no question that both sides were happy to stop fighting, and Americans were relieved that the British did not gain any more land in our country. The peace treaty stated that both sides would have to accept the land agreements that existed before the war. That's good, but I still haven't heard anything about pirates, urged J.P. Well, now you are going to, Grandfather Lafitte replied. You see, privateers and pirates played an important role in the War of 1812. What are privateers? How are they different from pirates? Asked Adele. Privateers were basically government-approved pirates. That means they are allowed to, and sometimes even encouraged, to stop British merchant ships and take the cargo. Sometimes they were asked to seize the ships too. This was often the only way the United States could get the supplies we needed. Do you mean to say that President Madison told privateers to steal stuff? Asked J.P., amazed at the thought. Well, said Grandfather Lafitte, many things happened in times of war that would not ordinarily happen. Back then, there were more privateers who owned ships than there were U.S. naval ships and sailors. For a big part of the war, the British had blockaded many of our ports. We had no way to get supplies. We had no trade. We could not trade with other nations. We needed all the help we could get. So these privateers helped us by taking merchant ships and cargo that we desperately needed. By the end of the War of 1812, there were several hundred perfectly legal American privateers. Were the privateers pirates before the war? Asked J.P. Some privateers were pirates, Grandfather Lafitte replied, but others were young men who saw it as a way to make money. The most famous, or shall we say infamous pirates turned privateers from that time were two brothers, named Jean and Pierre Lafitte. Grandfather paused. Jean Lafitte was an excellent sailor and navigator. He helped spy on the British when they began their attacks on New Orleans. Pierre was an expert smuggler of stolen goods. Because they had been pirates, they knew the swamps and bayous of New Orleans very well. Jean, in particular, could find his way around the dense, jungle-like swamps that confused most people. Jean even created secret waterways and canals that only he and his fellow pirates knew about. They could escape from anyone who tried to capture them. They hid their stolen goods in these secret places too. They knew the area so well that General Andrew Jackson asked them to help defend New Orleans. He offered them a full pardon if they agreed. And they did. Many people believe that Andrew Jackson would not have won the Battle of New Orleans without the help of Jean Lafitte. Wait, did you say Jean Lafitte? Asked Adele, staring right at her brother, whose full name was Jean-Pierre. Are we related to Jean Lafitte? Gasped J.P. We are, it seems, descendants of his brother Pierre, explained Grandfather Lafitte. I will tell you a little more about your namesakes. They were quite fascinating characters. Now Grandfather had the children's full attention. No one knows for certain where Jean and Pierre Lafitte were born, began Grandfather Lafitte. Some believe that they were born in France, others that they were born in a French colony of Saint-Domingue. Pierre was the older of the two, and they think he was probably born in 1770, whereas Jean was born around 1776, but no one knows for sure. Both the brothers were well educated. In fact, Jean spoke at least 4 languages. The Laffittes were such good pirates that they had a warehouse in New Orleans filled with stolen goods. At one point, the brothers took over a whole island in Barataria Bay, Louisiana. They called the island the Temple. This island was like a settlement full of smugglers and pirates, and Jean Lafitte was their leader. The pirates sold their stolen goods right there on the island, and everyone went there to shop. The rich, the famous, and even everyday farmers. "That's so cool!" exclaimed JP, listening spellbound by his grandfather's story. "You could say that," laughed Grandfather Lafitte. As the war moved into their homestead, they used their secret waterways and swamps and bayous to keep a close eye on the British. Despite Jean Lafitte's best efforts, the British eventually found his island. They seized his fleet of pirate ships and all the treasures he and his brother had stored there. Did the British capture Jean and Pierre too, wondered JP? No, the brothers weren't on the island at the time, Grandfather Lafitte replied. Jean and Pierre Lafitte never thought of themselves as pirates. They considered themselves loyal patriots and businessmen. But it's been pretty well documented that, with the help of Jean-Pierre and their army of buccaneers, Andrew Jackson knew every move the British made. Thanks to them, he was able to outsmart and outgun the British. "This is really the coolest story ever," exclaimed JP. "I can't wait to tell my friends that my ancestors were pirates." "I hope you'll also tell them all that you learned about the War of 1812, said Grandfather Lafitte. "You are now both experts on the subject. I'm sure your teacher will be very impressed with your new knowledge." "Granddad, you never told us what's in your journal," prodded Adele. She'd been very curious about Grandfather's journal ever since she noticed it when they first arrived. Grandfather Lafitte opened up the leather journal. Attached to the very first page was an old, crinkled poster. He carefully unfolded the yellowing page. The Lafitte brothers advertised their stolen goods on posters and billboards in New Orleans. This is one of their posters. "It may even been held in the hands of Jean and Pierre Lafitte themselves," said Grandfather Lafitte. JP and Adele looked at the poster. It read, "Come one, come all, to Jean Lafitte's Bazaar Saturday. For your delight, clothing, gems, and knickknacks from the 7 seas." The children read the poster several times. They both gently touched the delicate old document. Then Grandfather Lafitte folded it up and tucked it back inside the journal. "Now, I suggest you two scallywags skedaddle. Take some time to think about all the things you have learned. As I always say, if we know something about the past, we can do a better job with the future." With that, JP and Adele hugged their grandfather goodbye and ran all the way home. The grassy fields in front of their grandfather's farmhouse were now bathed in late afternoon sunshine. "We are related to pirates, Adele," JP said in a loud whisper to his sister as the two raced excitedly home. "I know," whispered Adele. "I just don't know if we should tell anyone."